Welcome to Nostology. We are your hosts. I'm Shelley.
And I'm Jessica.
And today we're going to talk about kind of end of year goal setting, that kind of stuff, like how we end the year and how we look back on the year. Doesn't that
Because it
sound
was,
fun?
because it was a great year for everyone, right?
Okay. That was really sarcastic, I'm just going to say. So, yeah.
It's been a hard year for a lot of people. I don't know anyone that had a really awesome year.
I don't either. We were talking about that earlier before we started this. It was like, oh my goodness, like it's just been a very challenging year.
Yes. I think inflation's kicked everyone's butts.
I see that, right? Because I see people's credit reports and debt and all of that. And it's so sad because things have changed so dramatically.
Yeah.
So anyway, I mean, sorry, we're not trying to go down the like, oh, boo hoo, but yeah.
Well, we're going to have a pity party for a minute. It sucks. And you're seeing it on credit reports and stuff. People's debt is higher than ever.
Higher than ever nationwide. It is.
Then a lot of the people that I'm talking to, they're often moving because of financial issues. They can't afford taxes and insurance in the house that they're currently in, or they've lost a job or expect to lose a job. Their company's going under and they're hearing about massive layoffs. At least those they're planning ahead before the layoffs happen, because it's really hard when you wait 6 months after you've stopped making your mortgage payment before you call somebody.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't do that. Don't do that.
It seems to be a lot of just heavy crap.
Yeah, it is. I even had a client call me just a couple months ago. He had gotten laid off and he immediately went to, I need to sell the house. And I have known him, I mean, literally since the beginning of my career. Yeah. He is just, one of those precious people that just sticks with you over time for all these years. Oh. And he called me and he's like, I lost my job. I need to sell the house immediately. And I'm like, well, hold on. Like, I talked to him, about some options. I was like, are you sure you're not going to get a job where you have a tremendous amount of equity. He has never moved. Yeah. And he's had that house for over 10, maybe 15 years. Yeah. And so he didn't even really have an idea of what it was worth. Yeah. I looked it up on Zillow. I know you're going to hate that, but I didn't really have an option. Like, no, that's the only thing I know. Zillow's not exactly accurate, but anyway. He was like, you think my house is worth around that? He was all excited. And I said, so can some family members help you? I said, maybe just wait. You literally just lost your job and you haven't even interviewed for another job. And he's like, I don't know if he was freaking out. And then he ended up calling me like a week later. And he's like, thank you for telling me not to sell my house. I just got a job.
Oh, that's so, yeah. We panic when you get that news. When my husband lost his job a couple of years ago. Yeah. I called you crying. I was panicked.
Gosh. It's horrible.
So it's a really scary thing to go through. And unfortunately, he's lucky. There's a lot of people I know that I have a neighbor. It took her over 6 months and it's taking some people longer. But yes, don't panic.
Don't panic. Don't panic.
Talk to experts. Get some advice. Well, and
we're also very good counselors too. And we don't charge by the hour.
We're trained therapists.
We are. We might as well be.
Right. But we had the same thing. We were just talking about another past client of ours who he might get laid off. So it's great that they're exploring options. But it's like, do you realize that downsizing with the higher interest rates and with higher home prices, right. I was like, your payment might I told him to talk to you first. Yeah, I was like, run numbers, because if you take your equity and you buy this price house, what if your payment's the same? You may not actually be saving anything and you're going to get a smaller house because they built this house in 2017. So
gosh, yes,
it's amazing. And they have a low interest rate because they refinanced at the best time. So it may not make sense, but you have to, don't panic and rush off and do stuff. Get all the information.
That's right.
From the experts and a little therapy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So as we're kind of getting ready to, wrap up with Christmas right around the corner.
Well, when this comes out, it'll be 2 days. Well, it'll be 2 days. When this comes out.
Sorry. I'm just going to keep interrupting you.
Well, when you are hearing this, Christmas will be 2 days away. So Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Yes.
It's going to be 80 degrees, I hear, or close to it on Christmas. Y'all, I love the snow on Christmas.
I know. I don't love this. I don't like the heat. I want it to be cold.
I know. Even though, I came back from a snowy location, right? Yeah. to celebrate my birthday. And then I come back and like, oh, look, it's fall. I felt like I went back in time.
I
'Cause I went
know.
from snow and Christmas,
It's been so
came back to
great.
Texas, and it's like, actually, it was a beautiful fall. Of course, here it is. It's fall at Christmas.
Yes, it's been
Which is kind of
wild.
odd.
I'm driving around looking at all the leaves and like it's gorgeous, but Christmas is a week
I
away.
was like, this means that just doesn't feel right. I don't know. It's kind of interesting, but there are people across the country that would love to have a 75-degree day on Christmas.
My husband, when he's talking to his cousin up in Wisconsin and they're comparing, he's like, oh yeah, it's going to be 80 tomorrow. And his cousin's like, it was -9 this morning when I left.
That's cold. That is cold. That is cold. But yeah. So
I like something in between, a good 50 degrees, something like that in the middle.
I want to be able to wear my coats and my gloves and my jackets.
So my son wants to do an ugly sweater contest for our
Oh,
family on Christmas.
fun.
So I told my in-laws and everything, I was like, we're going to do ugly sweater. But then I realized it's going to be so hot. I was like, we need to decorate t-shirts instead of sweaters.
You're right. I know. That is so true. That is so true. Yeah, it's definitely warming up. But as we kind of think about the year, so I know you and I for years and years, I'm trying to remember how many years it goes back that we've
Oh
been
my gosh.
doing this goal setting.
I think that's actually where we may have first met.
You joined.
I went to one of the classes you offered to do it with
I have to go back.
Kevin,
With my
your
old
old coach. Yep.
Yeah, my old coach. So I would host an event. And back then, most of them were like a big event. Like
Mhm.
I hosted it at the Gaylord and had lunch, and I almost said a cuss word. Sorry.
We've cussed on here
Right, we
before.
have cussed, yeah. I stopped myself. I don't know why.
The one I joined you
But-
with was the one at Parker Square.
Okay, a little
I
more
think it was
low-key.
over there.
Okay, so yeah, I've done it all different ways, but
Meet at
this book,
the Gaylord.
yeah. I'm sorry, it wasn't the Gaylord for you. You missed those days, but yeah. So it was my coach that introduced me to this book, and it's this Darren Hardy book, "Living Your Best Year Ever,"
Yep.
and love it, love it, love it. You and I have done this together
Every
just
year
about
since almost.
every year since then. I don't even remember what year that was, but how has it been? 10 years, 6 years,
At least
8 years?
Well, no, at least 10.
At least 10 years.
Mhm.
So, it's different goal setting for me. This is why I like this book so much.
Yeah.
Is that you also look back on the year. So you and I were just saying, it's like, okay, 2025 wasn't all that great. It didn't seem like it. But part of how this goal setting starts is your year in review. So, when you go back and you look at your year, all of a sudden you're like, oh, so it starts with your 10 greatest happenings. And
Yeah.
usually I have more. Like, you don't have to limit it to that, but we go through our photos on our phone and, kind of, write down what we consider our greatest happenings of the year. And then you actually remember and you smile thinking of, oh my gosh, that was great. Oh,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I took my daughter on a Mediterranean cruise, but at the end of the year, you're going, bah, humbug, it was a sucky year. But you're like, no, there were some great things.
Yeah.
And I think that that's one of the biggest benefits of how this one starts.
Yes.
Because you're not just throwing away the year and starting afresh, like, oh, okay, this year is going to be great. Let's just chunk this year. You're actually thinking about all the different things, but you're also looking at, okay, what did I do? What are some of the questions? Like,
Yeah,
what did I
well,
do?
So I brought mine so I can
Yeah,
flip
you
it
got
open.
the book. I'm sitting. Well, I don't remember
Well,
exactly what it is, but
I feel like it just presents a lot of like gratitude, changing that
Yes.
framing of the year. Because you had asked like the three things you're most grateful for,
Yeah.
or the three people that had the best
that inspired
influence.
you
Yeah.
or influenced you. Yeah. Yeah, you're always on my list, Jessica.
Oh, you're on mine.
Oh, we relate.
Well, I'm at the gratitude worksheet, so that comes after.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have your gratitude worksheet. So biggest risk you took,
Oh, yeah.
most improved relationships.
Really thought provoking.
It
It's
is.
really awesome. And then once you get through some of those things, the wheel of life is always kind of interesting, right? Where you're categorizing these different sections of your life, whether it's, financial, business, physical, like all the different areas of your life. And that's one of the other reasons why I like this goal setting when it's not just about business.
Yep.
Because I feel like it's about your life.
Well, and
it's
it
a balance.
asks questions because I've seen that wheel before,
Yeah.
but it doesn't have the questions with it. So
Right?
if you sit there, you're like, oh, sure, financial, I'm
You guess.
fine. But then if you start looking at these questions and the things that it asks you, and it's not just how much money you have saved, but, do you have a will in place?
Mm-hmm.
And so when it asks you these questions, you're like, oh, wait, there are some areas I need to work on. Or on the flip side, you may think, no, I'm not doing so great.
Right.
Like for my health this year, like I'm going through perimenopause, y'all. It's rough.
Oh, well, we're going to talk about it.
I wanted to lose weight this year, but I've been working with a doctor. We're getting all my hormones in line. So I didn't lose weight this year, but I did a lot to improve my health this year. And
You
when
found
I
out
did
a
that,
lot, the
I learned a
test,
ton.
all of that, like the stress, the cortisol, like
My
oh
cortisol,
gosh.
guys, my cortisol, I need to work on. I didn't realize the stress level that I'm dealing with and need to work on managing stress. So
We all do.
I really thought when she said manage your stress better, I was like, I'm not stressed. And I was thinking in a work aspect. And I was like, well, business is so slow right now. I'm not stressed. It's not that pressure like it was a few years ago.
But it's a different stress. So for me, like I'm stressed when I'm slow
Yeah.
because it's a financial thing.
But then I actually said that out loud. I can't remember if it was to you or to my husband, but I was like, I'm not stressed at work right now. And then walked into the living room and my son, who's autistic, had a 4-hour meltdown. And I looked at my husband and I was like, oh, this is it right here.
There's the stress.
It's not just one category of stress.
Right.
This is stress that we deal with, and that's not going away. So I really have to learn how to manage that. But
Well, that's true. So it does, the wheel of life with the questions that it asks you, and then you put it kind of like a little graph, but it's in supposed to be a wheel shape, right? So, and every year it changes slightly, and it's like, oh, I got a flat tire in this area this year, and it can help you set your goals for the next year, which is the next portion of it, right? So once you do that, then you kind of start going into okay. What areas do you of these, it kind of brings some important things up and you're like, okay, I need to do better at this. And maybe this is where, you start working on your goals and then you end up whittling it down to like your 3 top things.
yeah.
So I love how he does this.
Yeah.
And it's so good.
What part of your wheel do you need to work on?
Oh my goodness.
Do we want to talk about it?
Ooh,
Are we going to share?
My wheel has changed over time, right? And it does because life changes. Yeah. I know in the past when we first started doing this, like I was like super high and like, business and all this stuff. And my personal side lacked, like I worked so much that I really didn't have a personal life.
Yep.
And then I started going, oh my gosh, like I need to be more proactive and spend more time with friends and family and not always work. Cause I had friends back in the day that when I, first started my career, literally, I mean, they accused me of being a workaholic. And you might remember these days where I'd have somebody would call and they go, okay, can you have lunch? And I'd have to look at my calendar and go, well, okay, 3 weeks from now I'm available.
Yeah.
Because I was always planning and booking and like, it was just so structured.
Yeah.
And I really didn't have much like downtime.
Yeah.
And so it's really shifted because now it's like, I feel like the business side is it's different now because it has been slower for a few years, not just this year. It's been slower. So my wheel was just a little more wonky, probably literally. Okay. I'm going to admit this, like live, but mental. There's a category for, your mental, how you are mentally. And I'm like, I was not good mentally, for a while. Like it's been hard. And that's my weakest link right now.
Well, because you and I were very much the same with, for a while there, I had little ones. When we talked about doing this 10 years ago, business, I was growing my business. I was newer in the business at that point. So growing and then getting super busy with work, but then also having little ones at home. So under the relationships, it does kind of separate out friendships versus family.
Yes.
And that's important because you want both of those to be strong, but everything was put into family or work and I had no personal life. So mental for me at that point was I was reading motivational, inspirational, educational things every day. Like mental was great, but lately mine has been bad. I think the world right now, living in an economy that's just
a mental case.
We are.
I know. Well, I know you.
We talked about
you a lot. We have called each other like on the days that I'm like, oh my gosh, like please remind me why I'm doing this.
Yeah. Well, when we did this Darren Hardy book this year, we had a few other friends that joined us and did very different industries. Like we have a baker that she owns a bakery and joined us.
Hey, Kara.
Hello. And we all have experienced just I think when we're in an economy where everybody's stressed because they are financially stressed,
Right.
our world is stressed right now. It kind of brings out the ugly side of people. So we're dealing with a lot of assholes.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So
that's true.
even like I said, like the baker, it's not just industry specific to us, but dealing with people who are just being so awful. And so then I think mentally that takes a toll and we pull back going, I don't want to. I don't want to deal with people. I don't want to talk to people.
Because it feels personal, but it's not.
It's not.
But when it happens like so often, you really, it just starts to really affect you. I used to be able to separate it out better because
Yeah.
sometimes, you know, people are just people, right?
Yeah.
And there are some really great people, and then there's some people that are just kind of always assholes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know what you're saying. So yeah, so mental was really
Yeah.
where I'm like, oh my gosh, how do I fix this? I do feel like I'm kind of turning a little corner though for the first time.
Yeah.
I don't know if I mentioned that to you. Like, you know, the last few years have been really rough. And it's like holidays are hard, you know, because everybody's supposed to be all happy and buying gifts and all this. And I'm like, you know, financially, it's not been super great. I'm still
Yeah.
here. I've survived, you know, but we've talked about how, you know, the builders have kicked my ass and stolen half my business because they're offering such great deals. But that's not personal.
It's
But it feels like it when it
Yeah.
affects your pocketbook.
yeah.
Right. And so like the holidays haven't been special, and it's been hard to like tell my kids who are, well, they're grown now, but, and so it's not as big of a deal. They're not little waiting for Santa to bring gifts, but, you know, having to tell them every year, like, hey, yeah, we're going to do low key Christmas. We're just going to do some stockings and just hang out. And for some reason this year, it finally clicked, like, they're okay with that.
Yep.
And it's really about the relationship. You know, they're young adults and they don't have a ton of money. So for them, they're like, oh, good, I don't have to buy gifts. So I'm feeling like I'm a little bit like turning a corner for the first
Yeah.
time in years. I am looking forward to Christmas.
That's good.
That sounds so sad. Does that sound pathetic?
Well, I'm
No,
glad
I'm
you're
not a
turning.
bah humbug by any way, shape, or form. But you know, when your kids are older, they move out. You're single. It's like it's different.
Yeah.
And you know, my mom's Alzheimer's, and she's getting worse, and I don't have a lot of family local to
Yeah.
get together with. So it's been like just me.
Yeah. Well, and you know, we all, you know, get excited around Christmas and think that it's just this merry festive time, but for a lot of people it can be hard.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people when we were together with our friends the other night, one of them, she has some trauma. Her mom died around Christmas, and that's
yeah.
hard. I have a friend whose husband passed away earlier this year. This is her first Christmas. Like, there's just a lot of people who are going through
A lot of struggle.
whether it's financial related to Christmas or just emotional things. It's not always merry and joyful. Sometimes it's emotional and hard, and it's a get through it, not a enjoy it, unfortunately. So
True.
if that's you listening and
You're not
you're not
alone.
looking forward to Christmas 2 days from now, then yes, we love you.
We love you. We understand. We've all experienced it to some degree, because you know it's like, you know, I'm gonna have to bring a parley. I'm like, okay,
Oh,
I know. For dog lovers out there, you'll understand, and if you're not, then you're gonna be like, oh, it's just a dog. I'm like, sorry, no, this dog was my child.
Yes.
She has a stocking, and when I get my stockings out for
Oh.
Christmas, like it's gonna be hard, you know. And I decorated, you know, one of my little small trees. You know, I do what I call my travel tree.
Yes, I love your travel tree.
Yeah, I get ornaments from all my travels, and it just makes me smile when I put my little tree with the little ornaments. I'm gonna have to get a bigger tree next year.
Yeah.
The ornaments are taking over the tree, which is fun. But you know, I've got her little paw prints on there because the groomer used to at Christmas time, you know, make little paw print ornaments for me. And I'm like, I put, you know, one up, and I looked at it, and I'm trying so hard, like, not gonna cry, not gonna, and like I had to stop, I had to walk away. So even my son's like, it's not going to be the same, Mom, without Harley and her stocking.
Oh.
And then, you know, my daughter's in France. So like I've never, like, you know, you just wait till your kids are older, but like I've never had a Christmas without my daughter.
Yeah.
Her whole
I
life.
can't imagine. Yeah.
Like it's weird. But anyway, somehow, despite those things, I'm feeling very cheerful.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've got my Christmas music going, and I'm just like, okay, I finally feel like I'm really ready for a new year, because this goal setting stuff is really helpful. But I know, and you know this because I told you like a couple years back, was it 2 years ago that we went to your condo?
Yeah.
And so, I don't know if I told you this. You kind of like prior to that, I mean, I've always done my goals. It was always my thing. Like I did this every year, regardless. But oh my goodness, after 2020 and 2021, with as busy and as much as I worked, I was so burnt out. I didn't have any goals. I didn't do it for the first time, like ever. I'm like, my goal is to sleep. I mean, like, I was so tired, and I was like, I didn't do it. So 2 years ago, when you mentioned this, you're like, hey, why don't you come down to my condo with me and let's do this together? And I was kind of like, okay.
I got you with travel. That's how I did it.
You did.
If it hadn't involved a trip somewhere,
I
you
probably
would have done it.
I'm out. But you know what? It's like, it was a blessing to me because you were just like, let's go do this. And we made it fun and we got away, and it kind of forced me to do it. And sometimes y'all, like, you need that friend, that'll just be like, come on, no, you need this. And, then you look back and you're like, oh my gosh, what are you laughing at?
No. Well,
I'm being all serious here. And she starts cracking up.
No, well, because it made me just remember one of the goals that I have now started was opening my own brokerage. And that Shelley pushed me a lot over the last couple of months because this is something I've worked towards for years.
I know you, and I knew you could do it.
And I feel like that has started to help me feel more excited to enter this new year.
Absolutely.
Because this is mine now.
It's your own gig. Like, that's badass.
And for a hot minute there, I was like, no, maybe I just join another brokerage or stay where I'm at or do something different. And Shelley, with some wine, was, no, you got to do this. You have to do this. Open your own brokerage. And then got everybody else egging me on, cheering me on. And
yes. And some you do. So when you have those friends that encourage you and kind of help, I don't know, pull you out of the mud or, push you in a direction they know that is good for you and you're capable of, it was really nice. So 2 years ago when you're like, okay, let's go to the like, I did not want to do the goals. I didn't. It was another year that I was like, I just, like you said, I don't want to. I just didn't want to. I didn't know what my goals were. My goals were to survive still and rest, because maybe this doesn't make sense to listeners, but like we were so busy in 2020 and 2021 that it was like complete fatigue and burnout.
Yep.
And then the middle of 2022 is when everything tanked. So it went from one extreme to the other.
Yep.
Severe slowness, right?
Yep.
In comparison. So it was a total dip, and it did a number on you, right? So it was a challenge. And I'm like, I don't even know anymore what I want. But that was really fun when we did that, because that's actually how this podcast was born. And
walking on the beach, talking about this.
Wasn't the one with the goal for the podcast.
I didn't know it was a goal of mine either. We were walking on the beach and I'm like, what if we did a podcast?
No, you told me you wanted to do a podcast.
I did.
Yeah. So this is how it really got started. Like, you're like, we would take little breaks, like we work on some things and then we talk about it. And that's kind of the beauty of this. When you actually do, you really need a good couple of days for this.
Yes.
To do it right. And that's what we did. And so we would work on our things personally, and then we would take a little break, and then we would chat about it. And I remember you going, yeah, I really want to start a podcast. And I'm like, good for you. You do that. I think that sounds
You're going to do
great.
it with me.
And then you were like, yeah. I was like, what? Why? This was not on my goal list. And I was like,
It's given us something that I think is been good for us, because with being slow, I think that's part of the problem, is not having enough to keep us busy and engaged in doing things. You feel just blah, it's
true.
So having something that keeps us busy and our minds working. So
yeah, true. Well, it was just, I remember you just saying like, yeah, I think you should do this with me. I was like, okay, I'll be the sidekick. That's really all I am.
Just pathetic.
But because of that, and I was like, oh, I mean, I was really scared. I was terrified. I was like, this was not one of my goals, Jessica.
I'm so sorry I've tortured you.
You have tortured me with the podcast. But no, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. And it's really been such a great thing, just for us, personally, but also, like you said, just giving us something to, well, not that we have stuff to do. We have plenty to do, but something else to focus on and like give back. Because to me, it's like when you are kind of in that down place, when you do give back in some way, and I know it doesn't seem necessarily like giving, but it is. We're giving advice and we're giving our information, and it's all free. We just want to share, and pouring into other people is kind of, it's always been helpful to me to kind of get out of that maybe a little bit darker place in your head. It's like, okay, just start pouring out for other people, and then it really does help.
It does. And then, like I said, the exercising the brain, because I can't remember where I was hearing that, but when we are not busy, when we're in a slow period, or when we're not being challenged, it really can put us into, it's kind of a different phase of burnout where we're not being stimulated.
Yeah.
So doing the extra research and preparing and doing these episodes does give our brains a little exercise.
That's true. Yeah, because, some of the things, well, it's mostly you researching things, but.
Well, then you're learning. You're learning about your house.
Yeah. I learn on our own podcast. Like, I've learned so much about home ownership that you have brought to my attention.
And all of our guests, our awesome guests who have come on and taught us so many things, like not to put rice in our garbage disposal.
Who knew?
I've had to teach my kids and my husband now.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. We really have. It's like when we look back at all the things, it's like, it's really, we've done we've had a lot of cool guests on that really have taught us a lot, and we've had fun along the way. I've definitely learned a lot myself.
Yeah.
So,
and have a couple exciting ones that we're working on for next year to get lined up. So
yes. And I know next year, because I know you don't like to hear this, but I think we need to do like at least one video, so people know. Like, I'll actually get dressed.
You're gonna have to put
I
on
won't
real
look
clothes.
like I'll have to put on some real clothes and do my hair, but not today.
Maybe that martini last night.
Oh my goodness. It is the holiday season, and I don't drink a lot, so they did kind of kick my ass last night.
So she couldn't really get dressed this morning.
Oh, okay. We're going to go there. I thought, speaking of, I'm going to have some more of my little caffeine. Thank you for buying me a refresher this morning.
Her phone wasn't working, so had to buy her drink. She needed her caffeine.
I really did.
So have you finished? Because we only did one day of our goal setting.
Yeah.
Have you finished going through?
I have not finished it, but I will be doing that over these next couple of weeks. Because, it's typically slower. Christmas, New Year's, people are kind of checked out.
Yeah.
I've got some closings that are happening during that time frame, but it'll be a quieter time, and that's when I intend to finish it. And I really am going to finish it.
Good job.
I started it, and I was like, oh, this is why I do this.
Yeah.
It was just a very good reminder. But like I said, I want to finish it,
Yes.
which is the difference for me this year.
Yes.
Well, you know what? Okay, I take that back. Once again, it was you that pushed me. Now that I think about it, because, you had mentioned we have these other friends. So there's a little mastermind group that we're a part of that it's all women business owners.
Yes.
And again, it was you pushing me. Thank you.
Yes.
Because normally it would be me, but this group, when it kind of got started, it was, I don't know, it was kind of on my heart to start a group of women business owners just so that we could lean on each other. And, it's been really, really helpful, and growing friendships, and just all sharing different industries, right?
Yeah.
Similar things from just being a business owner. So anyway, it was you. Now that I think about it again, that said, we should do this in the group. And I was like, oh, all right.
Damn it, Jessica.
Damn it. I was like, I thought I was going to squeeze by another year without doing it. But again, I'm really glad. I'm really glad that you said that. But it wasn't enough time. We do really need to finish it. And
I've worked on it some since we didn't finish that day. But then getting this brokerage up and running has taken some time that I wasn't anticipating. So thanks a lot for pushing me to open my own brokerage this month.
You're welcome. At least I did that.
Yeah. So I have to get in and still finish mine. I've worked a little bit through it, but I'm hoping that this year I can stick to it throughout the year because the other part, and we're not sponsored by Darren Hardy. If you want to sponsor us, Darren Hardy,
thanks,
go ahead.
Darren Hardy. I've seen
but we
that.
do love
It's
his
amazing.
book.
Love it.
But yeah, after it does the year interview, then it helps you like step by step with goal setting. So it takes you through not just, I want to make this much money or lose this much
Right.
weight, but how. And it asks you the questions like, what resources will you need? What programs or, things, what resources need to be in place for you to achieve these goals? So,
And a buy-win date.
Yes.
Like you really start to whittle it down like, okay, in the next 30 days, 60
Yes.
days, 90 days. And the book actually then tracks every
Exactly.
week after that to keep you on track.
and that's the part that I haven't stuck to.
Yeah.
So
Me neither. Maybe this is the year.
in years, and I'll check in. There's been some years that I've looked at the goals throughout the year, but after 2020, which is funny because every year it comes up on my Facebook memories, me, you, and Jill doing our goal setting. There's a picture of us at a coffee shop where we
I
did-
remember because I had this horrible hat on. I'm like, that's terrible. And it keeps popping up. Like, I need to consider that. I just look like a scrub. I don't know.
but that was December of 2019.
Oh my, we had no idea what was coming.
Every time I see it, I'm like, oh, those poor sweet girls.
We had no
We had
idea.
all of these ideas of what this year would look like, and it was nothing
Wow.
that we thought it would be. We were really thrown for a loop there. But then, like you said, it was a couple really crazy busy years where we didn't have time to even think about goals. Like,
Sure.
I would have crushed any goal especially business wise.
Right?
Personally, no.
Yeah.
But we didn't have time to even think about goals. And then after that, we were in burnout. So we didn't want to do anything.
Right.
It was a lot of, I don't want us.
A lot of I don't want us. And it's still really this year. I literally feel like I think it was last month where I finally feel like I'm like, okay, I think I'm ready to crush it again.
Yeah.
And then our coach, we have a mutual coach, Beth, she was like, Shelley, it's like the holidays, so maybe you need
Chill.
to just chill out and relax through the end of the year, and then really hit it hard in January. I'm like, but I'm ready now.
But
I'm
when I
ready
do it-
and everybody's gone and out of town.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, but it does feel good to kind of feel again like alive. I'm like,
Yes.
okay, and then to kind of go after it. And I really, and I know, I feel like every year I'm like, okay, next year's going to be better. But I really feel like 2026 for the housing market is going to be better.
Well, here's my theory. For the last couple of years, every time we get to this point, November, December, all the experts come out with their predictions for the next year. 2024 is the year. Rates are going to be in the fives again. It's going to be great. We're going to be in a crazy market. There'll be a ton of buyers. Same thing for 2025. And then it never happened. They also said the Fed's going to drop rates 6 times next year. And then they never did.
Right.
But now they're saying they're only going to drop rates 1 time, maybe, and it's not going to go down at all. So I think that probably means that
It's
it
gonna
will
happen.
actually happen.
I agree with you. I agree
So-
with you on that.
I think we just have to expect the opposite of whatever
Yes.
they
Because
say.
truly all the experts have been wrong for the
Years.
last several years. And we got hopeful, but I don't know. There's something that does feel different. Okay, I'm going to bring up something completely off the wall here. Shocker. But okay, yeah, I know I'm going out there, but I'm like, okay, this 2025 is the year of the snake.
Oh, yes.
Okay, like I
yes.
told you that, right?
And I keep seeing it pop up now.
Yes. So it's like, okay, everybody's going, what is she talking about? Okay, so
She's going to be woo woo for a
I'm gonna
second.
be a little woo woo because I do watch some of that stuff sometimes. But it's like the year of the snake was all about shedding,
Yeah.
right? And getting rid of and losing and all of this stuff. But then it's preparing you for the year of the horse,
Yep.
which is 2026, which is all about growth, acceleration, speed. So I'm just going to go with that. I'm going to
Yep.
say my experts are going to be, it's the year of the horse.
We're going to be galloping through.
We're going to be galloping through life with a smile and bags of money. And maybe even new relationships.
I was just going to say, I'm a French
Oh my
boyfriend.
gosh, I know I met a French guy. Okay, we're not going to talk about that right now, but he is so amazing so far. So anyway, that's all we're
She's
going
having
to say
to
about that.
play voicemail so I could hear his accent and how cute it was.
French. Oh my goodness. I know. I can't.
So
I
is
just
that on
can't.
your goal list?
It was not on my goal list, but like, I don't know. It just happened. It showed up. But maybe this is about like, it's
I
almost
need
the
a
year of the
European
horse. So
boyfriend.
what?
I need a European boyfriend. That's on my goal list.
That, that was supposed to be like 4 years down the road, but I don't know. He found me first. I was like, I'm cracking up because with Caroline being in France, I'm like, how do I meet a Frenchman here and she doesn't have a French boyfriend?
She's good being on her own for a bit.
Well, I have
Let her
been
do
on
her
my own for a
thing.
bit too,
Yeah.
for a very long time.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just have fun with it. So that's all we're going to say about this. Okay.
Okay. Well, if you are wanting to set some goals or look at this, the Darren Hardy book, I can link it in our show notes, but it's been a great resource for us, even the years where we don't fully participate.
Yes. Yes.
But I do like the picture because I've done so many other goal setting things in the past, and everything is very work focused and not about
all
balance.
business. And this is balance and family
all
and
balance.
personal, and so so this year it's like, okay, I know I need to work on my mental stuff, which I don't feel like I have been working on that and
Yes.
feeling much better. So
I have to work on stress management, which is part of mental. I
It
need to
is.
meditate, and I put that down every year. Something I need to do,
But
I always procrastinate with that. I'm like, if I could do it later.
It's kind of like, what that reminds me of is like back when we were doing all this goal stuff, right? One of my goals that I never did,
Journaling.
You remember journaling, and what else? There was something else that you told me that I could do on my
Yoga.
TV. It was yoga. I was like, I want to do yoga once a week, and I never could get to the gym to do it. And you're like, you can do it
at home.
At home on your TV. And I'm like, I don't know how.
Huh?
I don't know how to do that. So yeah, those are the two things that. Yeah.
And the journaling, we just had to tell you to give it
The
up.
journaling, after years of putting it on my goal list, like I am gonna journal. I'm not a journaler, y'all.
Yeah.
Like I cannot. I hate writing, and nobody can read my handwriting anyway.
Well, if anybody has a suggestion in place of meditation, how do you manage stress? Because that's what I need.
Yeah, I know. I got an app that I'm like trying to, but then I forget.
Yeah.
Like I should just meditate. I mean, I don't know. Is it morning? Is it night? It's just not a habit.
You know what? That's the problem. It has to be tied to something else. Otherwise, we don't do it.
Right.
So, because it's all it's asking for. You can do, I have the apps too.
5 minutes.
5 minutes, guided meditation.
I
have it like
needs to be
even
in
on
the
like
morning.
Peloton app and stuff. Like there's so many places that you can get.
Why can we not do this?
I don't know.
Okay, let's put that on our goal. Maybe we can help and encourage each other. I'm going to have to just literally have a reminder. I think it's going to, for me, I'm thinking about it's going to have to be in the morning because I'm thinking about my night last night. I'm like, can't meditate if I come home late.
Yeah. I think meditating in the morning, I think, is good. Starts your day off on the right
Starts
foot.
the day off. Right, yes.
So we'll just have to text each other in the mornings and remind us to meditate.
Meditate. That's going to be, got to work on that. That's going to be my next, maybe that's my challenge.
Oh. Because Shelly does a challenge most years.
I used to. This is all the things that I used to do.
Did you have to do one last year?
No.
Yeah.
I have, because literally, y'all, my challenge has been to like stay alive, eat. Like it's so in the past, instead of doing, a New Year's resolution, I lived.
You achieved it.
I achieved the challenge. I survived it. But I've always had in the past, I did always do a challenge for the year. And that was instead of doing a New Year's resolution. I never do New Year's resolution at all. I like a challenge. And I've done some really good challenges in the past. Like then I ran out of ideas is really kind of what it was, because I look back and I go, one year it was like, I did a half marathon and Caroline ran it with me when she was 12.
Yeah.
I've done that. I did a year of no shopping.
Yeah.
That was a really good one. I really should do that one.
That was going to say you could do that one again.
I need to do. Yeah, except for you took me to get my colors done earlier this year, and I feel like I need a whole new wardrobe. So it's been a challenge to not, I'm like, when you got to get rid of things that aren't your color, and then you need your color, you have to shop. So, but yeah, that one taught me more than you would think.
Yeah.
It's not just no shopping.
Yeah.
It was like I saved time
Yeah.
because I'd walk around and wherever it was, I'd be like, oh, I'm just not gonna even go in that store because why? I'm not buying anything. Now, okay, I say no shopping, but it was like if all my socks had holes in
Right.
them, I was allowed to buy a new pair of socks.
But like
It was out of need, not just because I wanted a new outfit.
But when we're out for a walk and you go past a store and you're like, that bathing suit's really cute. I really want that bathing suit.
Stinking cute this morning. I know all
The amount of times I
colors.
have to talk this woman out of buying something
I
from
know,
window
you're a
shopping.
good friend.
When we were on the cruise retreat that we did last year,
gosh.
she walks past a store and she's like, that bag. And I was like, no, keep walking. You said you don't want to spend money. And she's like, but it's calling my name.
I know.
I hear it saying Shelley.
I know. Have you seen that movie? I watched that movie,
Shopaholic.
Confessions of a
Yeah.
Shop. And I'm really not a shopaholic, so it wasn't like I'm not saying that. But I do like to shop, and I've been known to shop, but it's
Yeah, and that's the clothing calls to her as well.
it does.
It speaks to her
That bathing suit is so cute.
that you have bathing suits. And it's winter, so you don't need it.
And I'm moving to the mountains, so I don't really need a bathing suit.
Yes. So you didn't need to go in there.
If it goes on sale.
No.
So back to the challenges. So every year, doing some kind of
Yeah.
challenge. Like one year it was like buy a Starbucks for the person behind me because I did used to go every single day to Starbucks.
Yeah.
Well, I could afford it then.
Back when you had money.
Right. But now, no, I can't. So I don't know. I really do. Thank you for bringing that up because now I'm like, I do need a new challenge. And I've really a couple times did think, should I try the no shopping again? I don't know.
I think you can do it.
What would my challenge be?
I haven't done one in a few years. I
think this is the year for us to do it.
did the 1 year, like I did 100 books in 1 year.
Oh my gosh, you and your books.
But yeah.
You were always the best. You also got me an Audible, by the way.
Yeah.
Because
She's like, I like having a book to read. I was like, but all the time you're getting ready, you're in the car.
I know. And she finally converted. It really, you keep telling me these things and it might take you a couple of years, but you do finally get through to me. And I'm like, all right, what's this Audible?
And then she calls me, she goes, I just listened to a book while I did my makeup. It was amazing.
I know.
Like, this is wonderful.
That's why you got through so many freaking books in our
All the
little
driving that I
Junto
do.
group. Because you were always the rock star with how many books you would do a year. We were like, what? Like Audible, because you're in the car and you can do it while you're, whatever, walking, putting on makeup, getting ready, driving.
Majority of it was driving to showings.
Yeah.
So if you're driving all over town, I've got clients up in Sherman right now. I have clients down in Benbrook. So they're
driving all over.
2 hours apart from each other.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So
I'm all over.
So
Gives me time.
Ooh. Well, so see all those things. That's why you're always on my list as, somebody that has, inspired me for the year. Because there's always something you've inspired me with.
Oh, well, thank you.
So you may not
That makes me
realize
feel
that.
special.
So thank you. You are special. We're very special. All right. We're going to go with the challenge because I really don't want to do no shopping. I should do that. Really, really should. But that sounds awful.
Okay, well, if you have challenge ideas too, so in addition to how we manage stress, if you have ideas on a challenge for the year,
we need to meditate and we need a challenge for the year because we still have a couple of weeks to before the new year starts, right? Where we can figure that out.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like we've rambled on, but this was fun.
Yes, and like I said, I'll link the book in the show notes in case you're interested in this one. And I'll also put on our socials. So you can find us on Facebook and Instagram, Nostalgia Podcast.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining us where we help you make the best of your nest.
Bye.
Bye.